Anyway, let's jump to this story. So this is a weird one. I want to talk about this, find out what's going on here. So we have this from the New York Post. Flight from hell sees 6 passengers sickened with mystery illness. Looks like ground crews entered in hazmat suits, and everyone was in pure panic mode. Cabin fever. A British Airways flight devolved into pure pandemonium after passengers and crew fell ill, prompting hazmat-suited workers to swarm the plane after an emergency landing. It was definitely a flight from hell, Melanie Wells, 61, told Kennedy News while recounting the ill-fated trip, which occurred during a flight from London, UK to Egypt. The East Sussex native and her 19-year-old daughter had planned to embark on a $10,000 all-exclusive vacation to Sharm el-Sheikh, a scenic city on the Red Sea, to help boost her spirits as she hadn't been feeling well. I hadn't been away for ages. It was definitely much needed. Unfortunately, the Brits' dreams of a relaxing trip fizzled after she became violently sick on the plane. When we boarded, the temperature was so extreme that I started to feel unwell. I was supersonically hot, and I ended up getting a really bad headache. Wells initially attributed her symptoms to heat until she noticed she wasn't the only one feeling green around the gills. About an hour and a half into the air, crew members suddenly began running down the aisle backward and forward. I didn't know what was going on. There was one mom whose eyes had rolled into the back of her head. The crew looking after them had actually... Oh, wow. So the crew looking after them had actually collapsed. According to Wells, a total of 6 people fell ill aboard the aircraft. Wells, who felt nauseous with a headache, said she believes her symptoms were caused by noxious fumes on board. Interesting. Someone just ripped a fart in a tuna can. Following an emergency landing in Venice, Italy, ambulances and fire engines surrounded the plane. Then emergency crews wearing hazmat suits and breathing apparatuses scrambled aboard and began administering tests to afflicted passengers and crews. I was absolutely terrified, recounted Wells. I was thinking, have we all been inhaling toxic fumes? She added that the usually stalwart airline staff was in pure panic mode as well. Unfortunately, she claims that the flyers were kept in the dark. At no point did the captain give us any information, the petrified passenger lamented. After an 8-hour delay in Italy, the plane returned to London, and it then landed in Egypt the next morning. Wells dubbed the experience horrific, venting, "We were traveling for 40 hours. We were utterly exhausted." So did they ever find out what it was? The Bedraggle, the traveler, reportedly submitted a complaint to British Airways, which reportedly offered her nearly $3,000 in compensation for the canceled flight, meal expenses, and her hardships. But Wells claimed that the carrier refused to refund her $667 for their first night, and that they missed in Egypt due to the delays. BA have performed in the most cavalier manner, she declared. The distress and trauma we went through, it was utterly traumatic. It ruined the start of our holiday. Reps for the airline have yet to specify the source for the in-flight illness, instead claiming the aircraft was diverted as a precaution because of a technical issue. We've apologized to our customers in the experience and have offered compensation accordingly. They added that there was no evidence of fumes aboard and that the plane was inspected and put back into service the next day. So, yeah, I did mystery illness, I guess. It's a mystery. I don't know. If I had to assume, someone probably brought something aboard, and they don't want us to know what was brought aboard because obviously the airliner would be at fault for whatever gets brought aboard. You're supposed to be checking these people, TSA or whatever, supposed to be checking these people, and if they brought something aboard that got people sick, that falls on them. So, is what it is, I guess.